Okay. So Sendamil Chelvan, others, you can go and take your PDF files over here. இங்க நீங்க போனீங்கன்னாக்கா உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். So இன்னைக்கு வந்து I thought of doing some motion in plane 2 dimension. Okay. I thought of doing some problems in this. இங்க vectors எவ்வளோ தரவா இருக்கீங்கன்னு பார்த்துட்டு, and then I thought of doing some circular motion problems. Okay. Circular motion, last class we talked about it, and then we can do some projectile motion also. Projectile motion and circular motion, very important topics. But before that, we need to do some simpler problems, which is more like vector-based problems. So, can everyone hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Atvatika, unga preparation எப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்கு?
Yes, sir, it's going well.
Okay, very good. The magnitude of vectors A, B, C are 3, 4, 5 respectively. A plus B is equal to C. Then the angle between A and B has to be. I think it's a straightforward question. So tell me what is the answer. What could be the answer? So A vector, B vector. So I think if you want A plus B, be like this, right? So this is B vector. This is also B vector. This is A vector. That means this will be your, according to triangle law or parallelogram law of vectors, I can say that A plus B. So this will be your resultant C. They are given 3, 4, 5. It's called Pythagoras triplets. Yeah. 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. Can you tell me any other triplets like this? 6 squared plus 8 squared. Hello.
Equal to 10 square.
10 square, very good. Anything else like that? 5 squared, 12 square plus 5 squared. It will be 144 plus 25, 169. So it will be 13 square. So in the மாதிரி numbers long கொஞ்சம் ஸ்டாண்டர்டா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஓகேவா? So it will be useful. So all these things are triplets, Pythagoras triplets. So that means I can immediately say that it is a right angle. Yeah. So A and B, it will be 90 degrees. Vector which is prove பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னா you can think of something like this. A plus A vector, B vector. So how can you prove this? This will be a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cos theta. Yeah. Theta will be the angle between them. That means this is 3 comma 4. So that means 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 2 into 3 into 4 into cos theta. But on this side I should get 5. That means you know that this 3 squared plus 4 squared square root is 5, which means this has to become 0. When will this become 0? Theta is equal to 90 degree. So that means it is pi by 2. Okay, well, nothing very difficult, very easy problems. Yeah, you can go out and check it. Light running and light. You can switch off the camera. I did not have the questions ready. I had some other class, so I can copy paste it in the paint and then do it. Okay, இது எப்படி பண்ணலாம்? Any idea? Angle between A and B is theta. The value of triple product A dot B cross A is, anybody? Triple product less same இது வந்ததுனாக்க what will be the result? யாருமே ஆன்சர் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க. So let's say this is a plane. தத்துவத்திக்கா கவனிக்கிறீங்களா?
Yes, sir.
So this is A vector, this is B vector. So B cross A எப்படி வரும்? Along the plane வருமா இல்ல perpendicular to the plane வருமா?
Perpendicular, sir.
Okay, very good. Upwards or downwards?
Upwards.
Upwards. A right hand thumb rule போட்டு பாருங்க. So A cross B தான் இங்க வரும் இல்லையா? B cross A will be coming here. அப்போ this is perpendicular to A. So இது perpendicular இருக்கும்போது what will be the dot product of this and this? Let's call this as C vector. அப்போ A dot C is equal to AC cos 90 degree. What is cos 90?
0, sir.
0. Which means இந்த மாதிரி நீங்க பாத்தீங்க அப்படினாலே ரிப்பீட் ஆச்சு அப்படினா சேம் லெட்டர் ரிப்பீட் ஆச்சு அப்படினாலே வந்து you can immediately choose 0. Even if they give you B dot P cross A, that will also be B and this will be 90 degree, right? இந்த வெக்டரும் 90 degrees தான் இருக்கும். இந்த வெக்டரும் 90 degree. Why? Because this vector is perpendicular to this plane of, plane containing A and B. புரியலன்னா stop பண்ணுங்க. I'm assuming that you understood it, so I'll be moving forward. Okay, how to do this? Cross product அப்படின்னாலே வந்து this 0 should also be represented with the vector. So the resultant will be equal to resultant of a cross product is also a vector. Yeah. That means should I take 0 or 0 vector?
0 vector, sir.
0 vector.
Okay, very good. So that means even though the resultant is 0, right? Since it is a cross product, the resultant will also be a vector. That means we'll choose it as 0 vector. Of course, A is wrong. Unit vector is also wrong, right? Because unit vector means, what is the unit vector? Magnitude of a unit vector is equal to
1, sir.
1. So you can easily eliminate A and this one. Only confusion you may have is 0 and 0 vector. Since it is a cross product, you should know that the resultant is also a vector. Overall comfortable arking abina, then we can move on a little bit quickly. You don't have to spend too much time. உங்களுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு இதெல்லாம் தெரியுமா தெரியாதான்றது எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ நீங்கள் சொன்னாதான் எனக்கு புரியும். Body constrained to move in y direction is subjected to force given by this thing. What is the work done by this force? Moving the body through a distance of 10 meters along the y axis. Now it is moving in the y axis. Which formula comes to your mind? யாரோ நீங்க மியூட் பண்ணாம வச்சிருக்கீங்க, ஓகேவா? ஸோ நீங்க பேசும்போது மட்டும் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க, மற்ற டைம்ல மியூட் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோங்க. Work done formula, anybody?
Work done equal to force into distance.
Force dot displacement. இல்லையா? Force into displacement சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஓகே, F dot S. இப்போ F கொடுத்துட்டாங்க, so no issues. Displacement, how to find displacement?
10 meters in the y-axis, is it 10 j cap, sir?
Yeah, very good. So that means they said it is along y-axis, so that means I will take it as 10 j cap.
So the answer must be 150 joules, sir.
15j plus 6k. So dot product, when you take dot product, you will get this multiplied by this. So 150, yeah, you are right. So 150 joules, very good. It's an easy one. Which of the following is not a vector quantity?
Speed.
Speed, because that is a scalar, right? Velocity, torque, displacement, everything is vector. Again, which one is not a vector quantity here?
Work, sir.
Work done. Right now we used it, right? F dot S. That means it is a dot product. So dot product means the result will be a scalar, not a vector. Okay. So all these things are basics only. I'm sure you know this. Okay, how to do the 7th one? Find the torque formula, anybody? Rotation chapter long. Anybody remember the torque formula?
R bar cross F bar, sir. R bar cross F bar.
X bar. I'm not hearing you properly. R vector cross F vector. Yeah. So that means it is a cross product. Okay. How to understand this in a diagrammatic way? Imagine that I have a rod like this, like a fan's, the blade of a fan. Suppose if I try to, turn it around this axis, let's say I'm giving a force here. This is R. So I should take the R should be taken from the 0 to this one. This is your R vector. That means when you take the cross product, the R and F, the tails should be touching each other. So in the R vector, you can bring it over here. It should be in the same direction. Now if you do R cross F, use your right hand thumb rule. Okay, I don't know if you folks are doing this. So do the right hand thumb rule, right? So that means the thumb direction will be your torque. So that means R cross F is the correct thing, because when I push it this way, the object will be turning this way, and that is your torque. So torque will be considered in this direction. So this is a bit confusing, so listen carefully. இது எப்படி சார் இப்படி வந்து ஆர்க் மாதிரி தானே போடுறோம், அப்புறம் எப்படி டார்க் வந்து இப்படின்னு சொல்றீங்க அப்படின்னா, you have to use right hand thumb rule. So use the right hand thumb rule here. The thumb will represent this torque. So that means we don't have a vector to vector cannot be represented in a circular fashion like this, but we use the right hand thumb rule to convert the circling object into a thumb direction. Any doubt in this? So you should bring the tails together and then only you can do R cross F. F cross R putting it will go this way. This is F cross R. So if you do F cross R, all the things will go wrong. So you should do R cross F for torque. Which means I will use I, J, K, R I have to write first. So that means it will be 7. Just to confuse you only, they are given F first and R later. Okay. 7, 3, 1. F will be -3, 1, 5. Anybody have the answer, or quickly do this and tell me determinant?
Option D, sir.
Option D, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Everyone getting that? You get it? I don't have to work it out. I hope all of you are comfortable. 15 minus 1 minus J so I'll get 7 into 35. So 35 minus 3. So it will be minus 38. Yeah, so I think these two terms are correct. So that means this looks correct to me. Everyone getting that? Anybody having any doubt? Again, I'm repeating R cross F. Nalla store panni vechukkonga mind la. F cross R nu eduthingnaka everything will go wrong. So in the diagram vachu padichingaka you will understand that R cross F la right hand thumb rule will point upwards. Thumb will point upwards. And that is your torque. Okay, this is also easy one. If you have maths basics, I'm sure it's all easy stuff only. Any quick answers? Anybody? Unit vector is represented by this, which means the magnitude is, what is the magnitude?
1, sir.
1. So that means magnitude is equal to 1. So that means 0.5 square plus 0.8 square plus c square root should be equal to 1. Do this math. Anybody? Quick answer. 0.25, 0.64. So I will get 0.64 plus 25, 89. 1 minus 0.89, I will get 0.11. So
It must be root of option B, sir.
Option B.
B.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that sounds correct. Okay, very simple, nothing very difficult at all. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. Vectors, in my opinion, is easy, but sometimes it could be tricky. Okay, so if you don't practice enough, you lose it. So practice, at least the past papers, if you practice it, I'm sure you can do well in the Neet questions. Angle between two vectors of magnitude 12 and 18 and their resultant is 24. Resultant means which formula comes to your mind? Root of a squared plus b squared 2ab cos theta. That means a is given, b is given, r is given. All you have to find is theta. Quickly do that and tell me what you're getting. Any answers? This will be 144. This will be, is it 324? Anybody? Good in maths. 18 square.
324, sir.
Yeah. So that means 324 plus 144. Do this math. Tell me what you're getting. This will be 576. Is that correct? If I square it. So 144 plus 324 plus of course, I don't know if you can do it, these kind of numbers, a little bit hard, but how much are you getting for 576 minus 144 minus 324? 576 minus 144. It's 324. Any answers after this? 9. So I'm getting 1 by 4. I'm getting this. Yes, no. So cos theta, I'm getting 0.25. I know that cos 30 is root 3 by 2, right? And as you increase it, it will, the value will decrease. So cos 60 is 1 by 2, 0.5. Cos 60 is 0.5. And it will decrease further. So that means it should be more than 60. So I don't know how you can do this. Yeah, I think it's your. Hello. I think you will have to use some calculator or something. I don't know how you can do it without calculator. So 0.25 is, yeah. Should because anybody got the answer? So with calculator, I'm getting 75.52. Sometimes what you can do is you can find out some approximate numbers. This is close to 90. So cos 90 is 0. right? This is 0.25, so that means I can eliminate this. 63 cos 60 is close to 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So that means I can eliminate this and this. But unfortunately, to decide between this and this, I don't know how you can make a decision without a calculator. Okay, we'll see. If I get some ideas, I can share it with you. Anybody having any other ideas? Sometimes what happens is, for 75 degrees, I can do 30 plus 45 or 45 plus 30. Similarly, for 15 degrees, I can do 45 minus 30 degree. So that means, suppose if I want sine 75, I can do sine a plus b. Similarly, I can do sine a minus b. So in addition to 60, 30, 45 degrees, you can, you can easily calculate 75 and 15. Okay. So maybe you can try that and see, maybe you'll get the value closer to. So suppose if I use cos 45 plus 30, as I said, I'm going to eliminate these two things, so I have to decide between this. Cos a plus b, I can use cos 45 cos 30 minus sin 45 sin 30. Any quick answers? So try this. I think you should get something close to 0.25. Okay, so that's the best I can think of. By root 2 root 3 by 2 minus sin 45 is 1 by root 2 by 2. Okay, so do this math. I'm sure you should get something close to this one. Any doubts? Can I move on? Linear velocity, angular velocity. Okay, this is also very important, very similar to that R cross F. Okay, what is the linear velocity if the angular velocity omega and position vector r is given? Any idea? V is equal to, have you studied any formula? V is equal to in terms of omega. Nobody is answering. Akshaya.
Yes, sir.
Any formula, V is equal to R omega. Did you study something like that?
Yes, sir.
Already forgotten. So V is equal to R omega. But unfortunately, this is only for the magnitude, right? So if I want the vector, I should know V is equal to omega cross R. Okay. Since both of them will be 90 degrees, sin 90 becomes 1. So that's why we don't write this. Tatvatika, follow pandringla?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means this is for magnitude, right? I'm sure all of us, we use V is equal to R omega. But this is V is equal to omega cross R. Similar to what we did earlier. Do this quickly. Tell me, IJK. If you want me to show you where it is, I can show you in the handbook. You can go and access it in the website also. So you should go to chapter, rotation chapter. I have given some diagrams there to make it easy for you to understand. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So angular velocity. So you see, do the right hand thumb rule. So if you do r cross v, right? R cross omega, the v will be coming out of this point. So if you want the v to be going this way, right? Remember r is this way, and then I told you the tails should be touching each other. So that means I have to move the r over here. And only when you do r cross omega, right, you will get v. Sorry, omega cross r. I'm confusing. Omega cross r. Okay. அது புரியலனாக்கா I will explain one more time. நல்லா கவனிங்க. ஸோ இது வந்து r, இது வந்து linear velocity v. Omega வந்து if I push it this way, omega will be represented like this, just like your torque. இப்போ v இப்படி இருக்கு. r வந்து I will bring it over here because the tails should be touching each other. That means if I try doing r cross v, right, I will get omega, but actually my formula is v is equal to r omega. If I do it like this, if you write it like, r cross v is equal to omega, then that is wrong because I know that the formula is like this. That means this is wrong. That means if I do put your fingers along omega and bring it to r, and you will see that the thumb is pointing towards v. எல்லாருக்கும் புரியுதா? ஏதாவது புரியாம இருக்கா? So only when you do omega cross r, you will get v. Put your fingers along omega and put it, fold it towards r, and you will see that the thumb is pointing towards v. So that means it's omega cross r, you have to remember. So I jk, I omega is 3 minus 4, 1. R is 5 minus 6 plus 6. Anybody got any answers for this?
Sir, option B.
Option B, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's double check with the first thing. So I, then this will be this. So minus 24 minus 6. Okay, you have to be careful with this. And if you write it like this, you will not make any mistakes. So minus 24 minus 6. So that means it will be plus 6. So minus 18 sounds correct to me. Yeah. So that means you don't have to do the entire thing. Just by looking at the first thing itself, you can find out the correct answer. Suppose if you add one more option as minus 18, then you have to do the second term. Okay. So that means you don't have to spend too much time in one question. Any doubts? Again, I'm telling you omega cross r. You have to remember that. Particle moves with the velocity v, so velocity is given under the influence of a constant force, so F is given. Instantaneous power applied to the particle. How to find power? Anybody?
Work done by time, sir.
Okay, very good. Work done by time. What is work done?
Force times displacement.
Force times, instead of times, you should say F dot S, right? Dot product. So that means divided by time. Anybody, how can I simplify this further? What is displacement by time?
Sir,
Hmm?
S by T is velocity.
S by T is velocity. So that means power can be written as F dot V. If not, at least now note it down. If you know this method also, it's good. Okay, so it's easy. Again, I'm telling you, you should not say force into displacement or force times displacement. You should say F dot S. Okay, that's when you will understand that it is a dot product. So F is 20I. Do the dot product quickly and tell me the answer.
45 joule per second, sir.
Okay, very good. So everyone getting that? 20 into 6 minus 4. Okay, unfortunately, this is minus is over here. 6 into 20, I'm getting 120. Minus 4 into 15, minus 60. 3 into minus 5, minus 15. So 60 minus 15, 45, yeah. Any doubt? If you know this, after that it's simple dot product. Physics problems are very, very easy if you know the first step, which is your understanding the physics concepts. Okay. If you know the physics concept, mathematical simplification is easy. If you don't know the first step, obviously, it becomes a difficult problem. This is an easy one. Anybody? Angle between vectors A and B. Yes. சார் இது ஒன்றுமே கொடுக்கல ஏன் ஆங்கிள் கேட்குறாங்க அப்படின்னாக்கா எனி ஐடியாஸ் எனி ட்ரிக்ஸ் nobody knows this. I'll tell you the trick. If I do 3 into 3 I'll get 9, 4 into 4 it is 16, 5 into minus 5 I'll get minus 25, which is equal to 0. If I do
90, sir.
90, yeah. So always remember, whenever they give you something like this, you should remember that A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. And when will this become 0? When will the dot product will become 0? Either A has to be 0 or B has to be 0 or cos theta has to be 0. Here A is not 0, B is not 0, which means cos theta has to be equal to 0. Always remember dot product 0 abdina, it is 90 degrees. Okay, very often this is asked. Very easy problem. The vector sum of two forces is perpendicular to their vector differences. In that case, the forces, any guesses? In these kind of problems, I would recommend you to do some simple guesswork. Okay, இது A vector, இது B vector. So A plus B means it's somewhere here, parallelogram law of vectors. So that means this is A plus B.
Sir, I think it is option C.
Okay, are equal to each other in magnitude. Yeah, sounds correct to me. Suppose if I do, everyone listen, most of you are comfortable with A plus B. but more than 50% of the students are not comfortable with a minus b. So a minus b அப்படின்னா இந்த லைனா இல்ல இந்த லைனா? So is it like this or like this? Anybody? One or two.
Going from B A to B, sir.
Well, if it is going from A to B, it will be actually final minus initial, so it will be B minus A. So the easy way I remember is it is final minus initial. That means I would say it's not this one, it's this one. That means it is reaching here, which means A minus B. So this is A minus B. In this particular problem, it doesn't matter, but you should know in some problems this matters. So you should know that. Okay, now look at this. Obviously, you know that this is not 90 degrees, right? When will this become 90 degree? Any guess? Suppose if I had a B vector like this, and if I had a vector like this, now I am keeping this as 90 degree. So again, this is your A plus B. This is your A minus B. Again, you see it's not 90 degree, right? Because they said perpendicular to the vector differences. That means this is also wrong. This is also wrong. That means I'm going to guess one, I'm going to do one more guesswork, which is this one. So suppose if I take A and B equal, then what will happen? A plus B will be here. A minus B will be here. So now, if you do this square, right, you will see that this will be 90 degrees. That means are equal to each other in magnitude. So A and B should be equal in magnitude. It need not be 90 degree, right? I think in your maths you must have studied some rhombus or something. Is that correct? Anybody remember? I remember studying A vector and B vector. It need not be 90 degree, but it has to be equal. So that means it will not be a square, it will be a rhombus. That means this will be A plus B and this will be A minus B, and then I think this will be 90 degree. Can anyone confirm that? Here it is correct. But in rhombus also, I think this will be 90 degree. Is that correct? Anybody remember from your maths? Nobody remembers that? Okay, doesn't matter. As long as it is applicable for one situation, I can still choose this one. So are equal to each other in magnitude. So this is a little bit of guesswork. How can you do this in vector method itself? Anybody? If I don't want to do this guesswork, right? Just now I told you a trick. Anybody? Look at this. If it is perpendicular, it means the angle between them is 90 degree. So what should I do?
Sir,
A plus B dot A minus B should be 0, sir.
Okay, very good. So that means they are given that A plus B dot A minus B, they are perpendicular to each other. So whenever they say when two vectors are perpendicular, dot product is 0. Okay, keep this in mind. Very, very important trick. Very often we'll use this. And sometimes we'll use squaring on both sides. In this case, I can multiply this and this, and then I can multiply this and this, and then I can multiply, or I can take dot product. I should not say multiply. So that means A dot A, it will become A square, and cos 0 will become 1. And then this into this, so that means it will be minus A dot B. And then this will be B dot A. Then this will be minus b square is equal to 0. You know that dot product is commutative, so it doesn't matter a dot b or b dot a, both are same. That means I can cancel this out. That means a squared minus b squared is equal to 0, which means a is equal to a squared is equal to b squared, which means a and b has to be equal. So that means what we have chosen here is correct, equivalent magnitude. Any doubts? If you are wondering, sir, what happened to that cos theta, a vector is this way, a vector is this way, which means the angle between them is 0. So that means whenever you take same vector, it will become a into cos 0. Cos 0 becomes 1. That's why you can directly write it as a square. Very basics, but very often you'll get doubts like this. Okay. Any doubts? You can do some guesswork like this, or you can do it properly like this. This is better, I think. But having some imagination is also good. Okay. Can I go to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very often I have seen students struggling with these kind of problems, but actually it's very, very easy. Okay. Okay. A cross B, but then this is magnitude, which means it will be AB sine theta is equal to root 3 A dot B. A dot B means AB cos theta. That means AB cancels. That means sine by cos will become tan theta is equal to root 3. That means theta is equal to
60 degrees, sir.
60 degree. Very good. That means then the value of A plus B vector. Just now we studied the resultant is nothing but
A square plus B square plus AB cos theta, sir.
2AB. Who will say that 2 is 2AB, right?
Yes, sir.
2AB cos theta. Cos 60 will become 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2 cancels. So I'll be getting A square plus B square plus AB. So I think this will be the correct answer. Very easy, nothing very difficult. Only thing you should get the idea that, okay, if I write it like this, I will get the theta. Or if you're not getting the idea, then you should start with this and then say, okay, somehow I have to get the theta. And then you can, from the given data, see if you can, come up with the idea to find the theta. Easy one, nothing very difficult here. I think we already did this. Anybody? Any quick answers? Triple product means, what did I say? In triple product, if something is repeating, what will happen?
It will be 0.
It will become 0 because A cross B will be perpendicular to A and B, which means dot product perpendicular means it is 0. So it means it is D is equal to, sorry, the correct answer is D. Anybody not following that? So triple product, when something is repeating, it is 0. This is also easy one. Perpendicular means, what is the trick we said? Perpendicular means, what product should I take?
Dot product is 0.
Yeah. quickly do that and tell me the answer. 2 into 4, 8, minus 12, 3 into minus 4, 8 into alpha is equal to 0. So this will become minus 4 plus 4, 4 divided by 8, so 1 by 2. Anyone getting that? Anybody not following that? Okay, easy ones, so I'm going a little bit faster. So if you have difficulty, let me know. Only if you open your mouth. As I always say in online classes, it's very, very difficult for me to judge where you are. So you have to open your mouth and let me know. So if I'm going fast, you have to let me know. If I'm going slow, you have to let me know. Okay, any idea? Vectors A and B are such that A plus B and A minus B, the angle between the two vectors. That means this and this are equal.
90 degrees, sir.
90 degrees. Yeah, I think just now we did that, right? This one. So
Yes, sir.
only when they are 90 degrees, these two will be equal. Yeah. So I think you can take it from there. So it's the same thing. Another, you can think of another method, right? A plus B. If you are not getting that, 90 degrees trick, you can follow the method which is, follow the equations given here. This is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cos theta. That is the magnitude of this. That is equal to a minus b is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos theta. If you don't know that, you have to go back to the basics, which is given in the vectors chapter, right? So a handbook, you should be thorough. There's no excuse. Okay. Yeah, so I given everything side by side. So this is vector addition, this is vector subtraction. Very often, more than 50% of the students will study only the vector addition and forget to study the vector subtraction. Okay. So if this is A and this is B, this will be minus B. So all you have to do is simply add A and minus B, which means this is your A minus B. And similar to what we did here for theta, you have to calculate the theta here. Go through this. If you have any difficulties, you can always message me, or you can and we can discuss it in the later classes. That means the resultant is this one, 2ab cos theta. Let's see if this method will help us to calculate this angle 90 degrees, which we already know, right? Square root means it will go away, squaring on both sides. A squared, b squared can be cancelled out. If I bring this minus 2 on this side, it will become plus 2. So that means it will become 4ab cos theta. So a cannot be 0, b cannot be 0, 4 cannot be 0, which means only cos theta is 0, which means theta is equal to 90 degree. So learning more than one method is always good because it will improve your confidence. Okay, you want to double check something. Okay, as long as you are in school or college, probably you will have some solutions to double check. But once you are coming out of college and you are working in a profession, then there is no solutions, right? So only if you know more than one method, you can double check your solutions. Okay, this is also easy one, very similar to what we did now. Theta is the angle between them. The value of theta is asked. So do the same thing. I think we already did this, something similar to this. A cross B, so that means AB sine theta. Magnitude, so that means I don't have to worry about the vector. Did we already do this? AB cos theta. I remember doing this. So that means tan theta is equal to root 3, which means 60 degree. Okay, I think we already got this somewhere else. Six vectors A through F have magnitudes and directions indicated in the figure. Which of the following statements is true? B plus C gives you F. So B is like this, C is like this. So this is B vector, this is C vector. So B plus C will give me something like this. But then F is this way, which means this is wrong. So F is this way. Which two vectors? That means the vectors should be this way and this way. Any answers you can think of? D is one thing, looks correct. Anything else? D and E. You don't agree with that? This is D and this is E. So D plus E will give me F. So that means I think this is correct. Why not B plus E? Well, B is this way, E is this way, which means the resultant is going to be this way, not this way. That means this is also wrong. Why not D plus C? D is this way, C is this way. So D is this way, C is this way. That means F is, the resultant is this way, which is not this way. This is wrong. Very simple, but if you don't know the basics, obviously you will not be able to do it. So, any doubts? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Vectors A, B, C are such that A dot B is equal to 0, A dot C is equal to 0. Then the vector parallel to A is
B and C, sir.
B and C. B and C. In the vector parallel to A. Let us think about some situations. Whenever you are talking about 3 dimension, you have to, draw a plane sheet like this. And then I can do A vector this. And then A dot B is 0, so that means B vector is 90 degree. Like this, right? Because it is dot product is 0. They said A dot C is also 0, which means C can be, they did not say anything properly, but they said, maybe the C is along this direction. Or it can be perpendicular to A in some other fashion. So that means it can be coming out of the paper like this. So the C can be like this or like this. Then the vector parallel to A is, you know that they are parallel, so B and C are perpendicular to A. That means B and C is not correct because you already know that it is perpendicular, right? Both of them are perpendicular to A. That means this has to be eliminated. if I add B and C here, right, B plus C, it will be somewhere along this plane, which means it will not be parallel to A. And if I added this B and this C, it will be somewhere coming out of this thing. It will not be parallel to A. So that means I would eliminate B and C. கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, you will get the idea. Any other options you can think of? What about A cross B? A cross B எங்க இருக்கும்? I think A cross B will be here. Everyone agree with that? So that means that is also perpendicular to A. It is not parallel to A. So that means this is also wrong. What about B cross C? So let's consider this C over here. C, B. So B cross C, put your right hand thumb rule. I think it will come around A like this. B cross C will be like this. So what do you think? B cross C looks parallel to A. I think this makes sense to me. Does it make sense to everyone? Yes, sir, I think it could be like this on the Mariada option. Can you think of?
Why is it not B and D, sir? Sorry, B and C.
Then the vector parallel to A is A and B parallel? Because A dot B is equal to 0, then what can you say about A and B?
They are perpendicular.
Then how can it be parallel?
Okay, sir.
That means A and B are perpendicular, A and C are perpendicular, so that means obviously B is not parallel to A, C is not parallel to A, so obviously this is wrong.
Okay, sir.
Why not B plus C? If you consider this B and this C, the B plus C will be somewhere here, so this is not parallel to A. Why can't I consider this C means then the resultant will be somewhere here, and obviously this and this are not parallel. Only when you take B cross C, right? I have drawn it over here. So B cross C is like this. So B cross C and A vector are parallel. So that means you have to do a lot of three-dimensional thinking. எப்பெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு three-dimension பண்ணணுமோ, the first step I would recommend you to do is draw plain sheet like this. அப்போதான் இது வந்து A இங்க, இது B இங்க, இது 90 degree இந்த மாதிரி draw பண்ண முடியும். அப்போதான் உங்களால் வந்து you can show A cross B like this. இது A, இது B அப்படின்னா this is A cross B அப்படின்ட்டு உங்களால் imagine பண்ண முடியும். வெறுமனா A இங்கே வரைகிறேன் சார். If I am drawing A here and B here, obviously I don't know where to draw A cross B. A cross B is actually coming towards your face, right? Coming out of the paper. Appo it becomes a little bit difficult for you to imagine. So this is a good trick. Always, three-dimensional space. Make a XY plane and then show the Z like this. Is that okay? Important trick. Three-dimensional tricks are important. Can I go to the next one? Anybody still having any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Let me save this file, otherwise later on I can share it with you. Okay, a particle is moving such that its position coordinate xy are 2, 3 at time t is equal to 0, 6, 7 at time t is equal to 2 seconds, 13, 14 time 5 seconds. Average velocity vector from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 5. So that means it's a xy graph. So 2, 3 is somewhere here. 6, 7 is somewhere here. 13, 14 is somewhere here. Don't have space, but doesn't matter. 13, 14 here. So a particle is moving from here to here. So t is equal to 0 seconds, t is equal to 2 seconds, t is equal to 5 seconds. So that means you are going like this, then like this. So they are asking you to find the average velocity. Anybody remember the formula for average velocity? ரொம்ப பேசிக்ஸ்லாம் மறந்துடுவோம் சார், ஞாபகம் இருக்காது.
Total distance by total time taken, sir.
Total
Displacement by total time taken.
Okay, very good. So that means whenever you have doubt, go back to the basics. Okay. So average speed means total distance by total time. Average velocity means it doesn't matter what path you are taking. What matters is only this final position and initial position. So x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. So you can say it like total displacement by total time taken. So that means it doesn't matter what path you are taking. So only the displacement. The displacement means only the final and initial points. That means I don't care about this one. So the trick is, just to confuse you, they are given one more point here. So it doesn't matter. So what matters is between this point and this point. So any answers for that? Displacement in the x-axis is, so V average is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. This is for one dimension. If I am going to do the same thing for 2 dimension, I will write this as r2 minus r1 divided by time is scalar. So t2 by minus t1. என்ன சார் இதுக்கு என்ன சார் அர்த்தம் அப்படின்னாக்கா, r2 அப்படின்னா ஒரு பாயிண்ட். So this is your r2. R1 is another point, which means it is x, y. It can be applied for 3 dimension also. So that means R2 can be written as, it is called column vector method. So R2 இருக்கிற இடத்துல I can write as 13, 14. R1 I can write it as 2, 3. So you can write it as a column vector. Divided by t2 minus t1 is 5 seconds minus 0 seconds. So that means 5 minus 0. That means 13 minus 2 it will be 11. 14 minus 3 it will be 11. So that is the column vector divided by 5. So this can be written as 11i plus 11j, because this one is x and this one is y, and if you add a third one it will be k or z. This will be 1 by 5. So that's all. So that's your V average. So we'll see if you have this option 11 by 5. Yeah, so that means this is answer. So that means you should know that it doesn't matter what in between, even if they give you, 5 points, doesn't matter. What matters is only the initial and final points. And you should know that this is for 1 dimension, this is for 2 dimension. That means you can subtract the x-axis separately, 13 minus 2, and you can subtract the y-axis separately, 14 minus 3, which is 11. If you are confused with that, you can use this column method, column vector method. Okay, so it's called column vector.
Or can we just do like normal distance formula for points in Cartesian plane?
Yeah, if you are comfortable with that, you can do it. Only thing you will be writing ijk again and again, right? So maybe you are saying something like 13i plus 14j. That is your first point. Minus
2i plus 3j, sir.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but I prefer not to write ijk again and again, right? So it's whatever you are comfortable with, you can do it. That means 13 minus 2, it will become 11. 14 minus 3, it will become 11. So it's the same thing. So if you are confused with this, you can always use this. So all I am trying to say is R means it's a vector x and y, x comma y. So this is A, this is B means R vector is nothing but AI plus BJ. That's all. Very simple. So whenever you have 2 points, A comma B, you can write it as AI plus BJ. If vector A is given cos omega t sin omega t, B is given omega t by 2 is there, are functions of time, then the value of t at which they are orthogonal. Any idea what do you mean by orthogonal?
It means perpendicular, sir. It also means perpendicular.
Exactly, yeah. So orthogonal means perpendicular, right? 90 degrees. So whenever it is 90 degree, what is the trick we have been using? What is the important trick?
A dot B equals 0, sir.
Yeah, that's all. Once you get this trick, every problem is easy. So that means write A, write B, do the dot product, you will get the answer. Quickly do that. Cos omega t. You see, if you look at this, obviously it will look very complicated. But if you know the trick, it's very, very easy. You don't have to worry about what I have here. Simply write whether it is omega t by 3 or omega t by 2, I don't care. Just simply write, the equations, and then it will become very easy. Any answers? So dot product means multiply the i's together, so it will be cos omega t into cos omega t by 2, and don't forget you have to put a plus, and then you have to multiply the j's together, then you have to multiply the k's together. The good news about 2 dimension is whatever you are doing for 2 dimension is applicable for 3 dimension. Which formula comes to your mind? It looks like cos A, cos B plus sin A, sin B, right? It means I can write it as cos. Is this A plus B or A minus B? Answer இவ்வளோ யோசிக்கிறீங்க யாரும் ஆன்சரே பண்ண மாட்டீங்க மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ்.
A minus B.
Cos A minus B, yeah. If you are not thorough with the basic mathematics, I have given us some introduction for maths here, right? I forgot to upload the recent ones. Okay, I will now upload it over here. I think it's missing. Okay, the first few pages, definitely you can go through it. I will upload it and update you. So cos A minus B, so omega t minus omega t by 2. That means this must be equal to 90 degree. But generally in this kind of cases, you should not write 90 degrees, you should write it as pi by 2. This will become omega t divided by 2 is equal to pi by 2. That means 2 and 2 will cancel, so omega t is equal to pi. That means t is equal to pi by omega. T is equal to pi by omega. So you see, we have been using this trick again and again. Okay, even though the problem looks very complicated, it's nothing, nothing very complicated at all. Very simple if you know the trigonometry basics. I think we already did this. Magnitude of sum of two vectors is equal to the magnitude of the difference of the two vectors. How do I write that? If magnitude of sum of two vectors, so that means A plus B magnitude is equal to A minus B magnitude. The angle between them is 90 degrees, right? So go back and check. I think we already did this. Where did we do this? Somewhere we saw A plus B, A minus B. Which problem was that? Number. Yeah, this one, 17. So it's the same thing, they are given it in the sentence. That means you should know to convert this English sentence into mathematics. Okay. I always say that if you know to convert the paragraph into a mathematics, you already done half of the problem, right? If I say Ram is twice the age of Shyam, obviously you should know R is means is equal to twice means 2 age of Shyam. So this is English and this is maths. So that means you should know how to translate from English to maths. You know that most of the physics problem is over. What do you mean by moment of force? Do you know any other name for moment? I'm surprised nobody is answering. You keep a rod like this, you apply a force, and then there is
Moment of inertia, sir.
Moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is different. This will go around like this. And what did we say? I think we talked about this earlier.
Torque.
Torque. That means another name for torque is moment. The moment of force is nothing but torque. So don't get confused. Moment of inertia is different. Moment of inertia is I. I is equal to mr squared. Remember? So moment of inertia is different. This is force multiplied by distance will give me torque or moment or moments. Yeah, I agree that it is a bit confusing, this and this, but this is moment of inertia. So take it down properly. This is turning effect. So you can say torque, you can say moment, you can say moment of force, you can say turning effect. So all these things are same. Yeah. Because sometimes they will say moment of couple. This is for one force. Sometimes you may have two forces. Suppose if you had a rod like this and somebody is pushing this way and somebody is pushing this way, and that will be called as moment of a couple. Again, basics, right? So sometimes unfortunately what happens is உங்களுக்கு அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்றது புரியல அப்படின்னா நீங்க ப்ராப்ளமே பண்ண முடியாது. You know torque is equal to R cross F, but if you don't know moment and torque are same, then you will be missing this. So that's why you have to practice more and more problem, read through many problems. So tau is equal to R cross F, we already explained it. So F is there. How to find R? Force is applied at this point, about the point 2 comma minus 2. So that means force is applied at this point, which is, listen carefully, 2 comma 0 comma minus 3. Whereas above the point means this point O, and that is 2 comma minus 2 comma minus 2. I don't have to get scared by the 3 dimension, right? Always, whatever I know for 2 dimension, I can apply it for 3 dimension. How do I find this R vector? Is it final minus initial or initial minus final? What did I say? Vectors always. Anybody?
Final minus initial.
Final minus initial. So that means 2 minus 2 will become 0i. 0 minus of minus, it will become plus, so it will become 2j. Minus 3 minus of minus plus, so minus 3 plus 2 become minus 1. Do the problem quickly and tell me the answer. Tau is equal to ijk. Take the cross product. R is 0, 2, minus 1. F is 4, 5, minus 6. Any answers? Minus 12, minus of minus 5. So minus 12 plus 5, it will be minus 7. So remember I told you if you have 2 options, then you have to do the second one. Minus j, so do it carefully so that we don't make any mistakes. So j, so this will become 0 into this thing, it will be 0. Minus, this will become minus 4. It means this will become plus 4 and this will become minus 4. So minus 4 means this one. So that means this is the correct answer. So I don't have to do the K part. So if you have time, just for double checking, you can do it. Otherwise, the important part is anybody can do this, but you should know moment means torque. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Okay, from this I think maybe we can do it in the next class because it's already time. So these are all something like, projectile motion problems are also there, and then some vector based problems are also there. As I always say, please practice and come so that you will feel comfortable, especially the 11th students, right? Practice and come. You already have seen all these things already. Tatvatika kind of, people who are going to take NEET in another 2-3 weeks, you don't have a choice, you have to solve all these things. I have been telling you again and again. So you should do all the past paper questions, right? You don't have a choice. Definitely you have to solve all these things before going into your NEET. This is the basic minimum work, nothing very advanced. So, and of course these PDFs, I think it covers only up to 2020 or something. So the recent 5 years or something, you can finish this and let me know if you need help. I can, definitely you have to do the recent 5 years questions also. Is that okay, Tatvatika?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we stop here? Any feedback? Anything? I find this difficult, sir. I need help here, sir. Anything, if you talk, it's good for me because I will know where you are. If you want something, I can help you. If you keep quiet, obviously I will not know anything. Any questions? Any feedback? Nothing? Okay, thank you all. Can meet in the next
Thank
class.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. Did you have any question? Sandam Chelvan.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. So Akshaya, are you doing well? Are you practicing?
One
Akshaya, I
second.
cannot hear you. You have completed 11th right now, right? Or have you completed 12th also? I don't remember where you are right now.
12.
You have completed 12th. Okay.